All right, let's dive right into this one. We're looking at an incredibly dense and, frankly, provocative text. It weaves together chemistry, consciousness, and a really fierce critique of the systems that kind of shape our world. So, our journey kicks off with this line from a character named Eveline. She's on this quest for something she calls the Ark of the Covenant, and it's a search that just completely blurs the line between hard chemistry and, well, the divine. This isn't just about science, you know. It's a search for some kind of ultimate connection. Okay, so to really get what she's after with this arc, we've got to first look at the molecular keys she thinks will unlock it. And the source material, it presents these not just as chemical compounds, but as symbols, like pieces of some kind of cosmic map. First up, there's Harmaline. It's described as a gateway that literally lights up. It glows under UV light. It's the key that unlocks the door for other molecules to do their thing in the brain. I mean, talk about a doorway to perception. Then we have 2CT2, which Eveline actually calls elemental chaos. That's sulfur in its structure. It makes it potent, unpredictable. This key represents the power of volatility, right? The importance of learning to just flow with the unknown. And finally, we get to Homoline. This is the big one, the whole goal of the quest. It's a theoretical molecule she believes offers stability with a purpose. It's not about a temporary trip, it's about a permanent connection to meaning. A key that doesn't just unlock one door, but all of them. But here's the thing. Eveline's search isn't for stability in the way we usually think about it. Like she says here, that kind of stability is a lie. She's looking for something much deeper, an unshakable connection. So, what's really standing in the way of that connection? Is it all just in our heads, or is it somewhere else entirely? And that question, well, it yanks us out of the theoretical and slams us right into the brutally real. The text just pivots on a dime here, introducing a character named Elishaba, whose story grounds this whole abstract search for freedom in a raw, very personal struggle. Suddenly, this epic quest for connection is framed by a formal complaint. It's this painful bureaucratic account of systemic betrayal, a story of a single person being crushed by the very institutions that were supposed to lift her up. According to the text, Elishaba's body was just betraying her. I mean, look at this cascade of debilitating conditions. She was collapsing up to 300 times a day from narcolepsy, battling schizophrenia, an autoimmune disorder, all while facing the specter of Parkinson's. She begged for help, for just simple accommodations to stay in school. And the system's response? A brick wall. Refused. Denied. This personal failure, it's presented as something that wasn't just an accident. No, it's a feature of a much larger, much more deceptive machine. And that's what brings us to this idea of the Trojan horse. The system that crushed Elishaba isn't seen as just one isolated failure. It's part of this vast mechanism that promises to save you, but really, it's all about control. And there's the metaphor, and wow, it is powerful. The promises of the system, education, opportunity, a better future, they're all framed as a gift-wrapped lie. A beautiful offering that, once you let it in, it turns on you from the inside. And that's the core critique, isn't it? That the very institutions we think are meant to elevate us are actually designed to control and consume us. And from there, the critique just explodes outward, from the university halls to the entire global marketplace. So here's how it all connects. One person's struggle against a bureaucracy, that's a microcosm of this massive global machine of exploitation. And the text puts the fast fashion and garment industry right at the heart of it. The source just launches this furious takedown of these fast fashion giants, arguing that they're built on a foundation of lies and exploitation. We're talking 6 cents an hour wages and crumbling factories, all the way to the corporate hostile takeover that dismantled the original American apparel. And then it draws this incredibly stark contrast with the defiant rebirth of a company from the ashes of that very takeover. So on one side, you've got the global sweatshop model, and on the other, a new company, Los Angeles Apparel, built with a $24 an hour wage. And get this, funded not by investors, but by the very workers the system threw away. And out of this defiance, the whole tone of the text just shifts into this rhythmic, poetic roar. It's a celebration of creating something in the face of destruction, reframing the simple act of making things as a form of rebellion. I mean, think about that. The act of making clothes, the simple process of sewing, it's totally reimagined. It's not just labor anymore. In this context, it's an act of rebellion. The tools of the trade are now the tools of a revolution. Even the raw material itself becomes a symbol of the struggle. The cotton isn't passive, it's an active participant in this fight for dignity and for a fair wage. It's a rebellion against a system that sees everything and everyone as disposable. And this powerful declaration, this is what brings us full circle. All the way back to the beginning, back to Eveline's seemingly abstract search for the Ark of the Covenant. And here it is, the final revelation. The ultimate connection, the true Ark. It wasn't some mythical molecule after all. It was this ecosystem of revolutionary awareness. It's the consciousness connecting the workers' hands in South Central, the corporate lies on Wall Street, and that defiant act of creation. The key wasn't a chemical, it was consciousness. So the source leaves us not with an easy answer, but with this final provocative thought. It suggests that this potential for connection, for revolution, it's not something we have to go out and find. It's something to be realized, something that's already here, waiting.